I love the book. I love the audiobook. It's always great to have the author reading it, but it's a fantastically well-read audiobook. You're very good, as we saw just in that last bit, at the voices and the accents as well, which I kind of guess I knew, but you say you were talking to Matt Ford about impressions and stuff, but I think you're sort of more in that. You're more towards the Matt Ford impression end than just someone doing funny accents.
Well, I like to think I can do voices and that, but then when you meet someone, I went out for a drink with Matt before either of us had cancer, or certainly we were aware of it, and we were talking about Kevin Bridges, who, in my opinion, is one of the greatest comics I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and I was sort of doing a Kevin Bridges voice. And then he did his one, and I thought, I was so embarrassed. I felt like the equivalent if I'd met Tyson Fury, and I'd gone, yeah, I'm quite handy at fighting. And then he'd just knock 6 people out in the street with one hand while carrying on drinking. I just thought, you absolutely sound like people rather than, that's quite a good impression. You could do that and people think it was the person.
For the audiobook, there are, I've listened to mainly to audiobooks now, and there are some people who maybe should get someone else in to do those bits, but with you, definitely not. And, it is, and it's so inspiring because, like, I think I was reading Hanif Kuresh's book, and he sort of ended up, collapsing and damaging his spine, is basically paraplegic. But he was left with his brain and was still able to write. So he almost becomes like a writing machine. He can't use his hands to write, but he can dictate and he can use computers, and his brain is still completely functioning. But for you as a comedian to have your voice even affected for a little bit, and it's obviously, it's something, you've got your voice back, which is terrific, but, it's that must have been sort of terrifying.
A little bit. I mean, the Greek consultant who first told me what the treatment was, and this was, he said, we know you're a comic, so, we will be able to do all we can to make sure that your voice stays intact. And he did say it's because it's not like he said it's not like the old days. And then it became clear it was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's an amazing.
So 5 years earlier, maybe they wouldn't have been able to protect. Maybe they'd have had to do an operation. Maybe that would have stuffed my voice. I don't know. So that was amazing. And I've lost my range, which is I can't sort of. I was never a good singer by any stretch. But I could sort of sing, and now that's gone. So there we are. The world's spared any attempt at that. I can't reach a high note. I could actually get quite high before, but I can't do that now. Yeah. So, that. But really, in terms of, if you'd have sort of said that on the day the guy went touch wood, and I thought that when I asked if it was fatal, at that moment, if someone had said, I'm afraid I've got bad news. At the end of this, you're going to lose an octave of range. I think I'd have had your hand off at that. When I thought I was going to lose much more than that.